So welcome back to my channel. This is Gamer Dom and another ramblings of a fool. Some fairly interesting stuff going on in World of Tanks again this week. First up, new patch 9.18. Now bang goes my theory that all the patches this year were going to be 9.17 because it's 2017 and 17 and 9, anyway, whatever. It's 9.18. So it's expected to be a large patch, but nobody's entirely sure what will be in it yet. They haven't told us. Speculation is that it will be the light tank changes, and we will get light tanks up to tier 10, like what they've been testing on the sandbox. Sorry, we shall see. Also, potentially the limiting of artillery to just 3 per game. Still think it should only be 2, but there you go. So yeah, but we'll have to wait and see what exactly happens. Super tests starts today, 23rd, which is when I'm recording this, the Wednesday. So I guess we'll start to hear leaks of stuff that come out from there. The public test server, apparently 29th to the 30th of March. Excuse me, with a second phase on the 6th of April. Interesting, they split in the test server. It probably means that, like they say, there's a lot of changes, so they want to review the impact of the first few days of the test server and then look back at see whenever they need to make any tweaks for the 6th of April thing. So they are now looking at the second half of April for the full implementation of that patch. So interesting. We shall see what that means and what to expect with that in due course, I expect. Of course, if they do bring in the limitations on number of artillery in the game, that means they need to change some of the medals. And so this is an announcement of the different changes to the medals. So if you destroy all 3 artillery that are in the game, on the enemy side, not your own, sorry guys, you can't go and kill your own, you get the Burdu's medal now. The Dynamitri medal is if you destroy... So what's the difference between those? Okay, right. So you get the Burdu if you're a tier higher, and you get the Dimitriu. Oh my goodness, I bet butcher language. If you're just in any kind of same tier or other tank. There's Pascucci medal is now just 2 enemy tanks in the game. Used to be 3. So obviously, if there is only 3 allowed, then makes that hard to get. So they're making these 2 the higher medals. Pascucci becomes 2 TD artillery kills, sorry, and then the Yoshi Tamada, I don't know, destroy at least 2 enemy self-propelled guns with a light tank in the course of 1 battle. So there you go. Any more? I will take bribes to butcher anybody else's language in due course. So it's about time that Wargaming brought out some new premiums, don't you think? And don't worry, they have, or they will be. So this is a new Russian Tier 8 Premium TD. This is the T103. Apparently it's in super test at the moment. We're just entering super test. It's a big bugger. Yeah, it's a big bugger. So let's have a look at its stats. You can see let's have a look at collision model first. Not much armor. This thing reminds me of the box tank SU-100Y. Really does. Big gun. Very little armor. Big tank. Stats wise, 1,250 hit points. Carries a 130mm gun, with an average penetration of, wow, 258. They are just, I don't know what they are doing with the guns at the moment. The guns are just getting crazier and crazier. They talk about increasing the effectiveness of armour, and then they keep giving every tank that comes along now better and better penetrating guns. 258 with a standard round, 307 with its premium, 65 with its HE, 440 average damage. That's basically what the Object 252U does, isn't it? The Defender. Reload time 9.78, so it fires 6.13 rounds per minute. Aim time of 2.21 is actually not bad at all. Accuracy of 0.34 is very good, Average damage per minute is nearly 2,700. Wow, very nice indeed. Big gun depression as well, -8. You wouldn't have thought it on. Well, I suppose it's a big turret on a small hull. Degrees per second, turret traverse 30 degrees per second is actually pretty good. The tank itself is very slow, 15 degrees. Well, you would expect that. Armor is, yeah, well, that's where it falls down. It is like this, the box tank. 100 armor at the front of the hull, 100 at the side, and 60 at the rear. Yeah, doesn't look up to much. Bear in mind this is a tier 8, not preferential, so we will see 9s and 10s. 100mm, even, well, it's not even that well angled. Well, I suppose it is a bit, but that's not going to stop anything that they're going to face. Turret is also 100, 160, and it's a big ass target, isn't it? 63 tons, 100 horsepower engine, though, is very nice. 15.87 power ratio. I suppose it's not got much weight, and not really that much weight for a big engine. Gives it a top speed of 40 kph, which is pretty good, and 15 in reverse. I always think reverse is really important for a TD. Concealment, yeah, don't make me laugh. 7.8 when stationary, 4.7 when running. Yeah. View range is also not particularly great, 380. Signal range is great, but we don't know what the crew layout will be. So that's in in test at the moment. We shall see if and when it appears. It does appear that Wargaming are obsessed with giving more and more and more TDs. They've worked out that we can. We obviously just want to spend as much money as possible, so they're going to keep throwing TDs at us. It's a bit like World of Warships. If anybody plays World of Warships, I've lost count of the number of premiums there are there. It's just extraordinary. Oops, it looks like World of Tanks is going a similar way. Now, I was talking with my old mucker Shoot and Scoot last night, and he was saying quite rightly, I think, has Wargaming actually, has World of Tanks reached the point now where you don't actually need to grind the trees anymore, the tech trees. You have, it used to be back in the old days that premium tanks were worse than their standard variants, and you made up for that because generally they had preferential matchmaking, so they wouldn't see 2 tiers higher, they'd only see 1 tier higher, and they always generated extra credits and extra experience and what have you. So it was the price you paid. Now they've changed the philosophy. These tanks are so good, and in most cases now, the most recent ones are actually, you could argue, better than the standard tree variants. So you look at the Skoda, the Scorpion G, the Patriot, the Liberté, the Object 252U, the new Swedish Struntwagen 01, whatever it is, the Swedish TD. They're all at least as good, and many people would argue better than the standard versions you get in the tech trees. So why do you need to grind the tree? What's the point? You might as well just use the premium tank. You get extra crew experience, so the crews get better quicker. You get extra credits, so you can buy gold, buy skill rounds. And I can see that this could become a serious problem. I know with my playing habits, I tend to play a lot more premiums. It's nice. I've just looked at my account last night, and I've got 6 million credits in there because I've played so many premiums recently, and premiums generate money. So yeah, it does make me wonder whether they're making the tech trees completely redundant. What do you think? Let me know. I mean, part of the joy for me of this game was to grind the tech trees. Playing with the tanks is great, but actually grinding your way through a tech tree and getting to the end and feeling some sense of, I've just unlocked the next one, let's see what it's like, was kind of part of the fun of this game. Now, if you've got a couple of decent premiums and you play them a lot, they're good enough to compete against the standard tanks, so you probably don't need to worry about grinding the tree. And even if you want to grind the tree, you're generating so much free XP through using the premiums that you can just automatically unlock all the stuff that you need on the tech tree. So what do you think? Let me know down below. is this overuse of premiums making the tech tree redundant? You know, are you going to just give up playing? Are we going to see players? There's a guy I know who plays. He had his account rolled back. He wipes his entire account to start again. And when they do that, they remove everything out of your garage apart from your premiums. So he restarted the game effectively, completely fresh, with I don't know how many premiums he had in the garage. And so for the first several months, he just played premiums. Was it a disadvantage? No. In fact, it was probably an advantage. So anyway, let me know what you think. Is the tech tree redundant? Oh, so the marathon, the T25 Pilot 1 marathon. So we're finally coming towards the end of this. We've got about, well, as I record this, we've got 4 days left. How are you doing? Are you bothering with it? Are you going for the tokens? Have you just bought it? It's funny, in the first few days I saw lots of them out on the battlefield, and now I hardly ever see any, so I think that probably says that most people aren't terribly enamoured with it. And the contributors who did videos of it, it was a very mixed bag. I saw Quickie, no, it wasn't Quickie. Jingles was absolutely glowing about it. He loved the thing, although he kept saying he only ever gets tier 10s in his. Most of the other contributors were less happy with it. Mediocre and average seemed to be the general feedback on it. However, it is, well, potentially a free TD, or at the very least, it's a cheap TD, cheap premium tank. So, you know, it's worth going for, right? Except, I don't know about you guys, but have you noticed an even more crappy state of play that's been going on since these missions have been running? Again, I played a few games last night. I was at work most of the day and up in London. I had to come. Didn't really get to play much until the evening, and I played quite a few games in the evening to try and get my token. And I just noticed how even more retarded normally good players were. We played, is it Corellia? I think it is, assault game, and we must have had the assault game about 3-4 times out of 10. And every time we were attacking, and every single time our entire team went and didn't push up at all. They just sat back hoping to farm damage, and really good players were doing it. And I said to Shoot, who I was playing with last night, I think it's because of this mission, because you had to do 20,000 damage over the course of any number of battles. And obviously players were sitting back going, okay, I'm not going to push forward, because if I play aggressive I might get blown up. I just want to sit back and kill whatever I can get. And players were just trying to farm damage. And as a consequence, the game went to shit. We never won. I don't think we won any of them. Any of those assault games. Because, in fact, I turned assault off in the end because we kept getting hammered by it. And it was the same in other games. We played another one, I think it was, I forget which one it was now. And a 3-starred heavy tank went and sat behind all the TDs because he could farm damage. And I think it is just just people trying to do these damn missions. And much as I love the idea that Wargaming are doing this, the fact they've made it a daily thing, I think has been an absolute disaster for the gameplay. Because players, you know, like I was last night, came home from work and think, oh, I've got to do my token, and what's the easiest way I can do it? I'll go and take the biggest arse TD I can find, and I'll just camp, and I'll shoot everything I can, and I won't risk my tank at all, and screw the gameplay. I don't care whether we win or lose, I'm just trying to farm damage. And I have no doubt people were doing that. And for some of the missions, you kind of have some sympathy in many ways. They were pretty tough to do. I mean, if you look back at this is the Armoured Patrol blog, so they've listed out all the different missions we had to do. First one was really easy, and the second one wasn't bad either. You know, so they at times they've been bloody hard. So myself, this is day 12. I haven't even started playing today, so actually done 11 days. I've missed 2 of them. One of which was what was this? I think it was this one. Win 10 battles and be top 3 XP. I struggled with that one, and normally that's not a problem. No, it wasn't that one. It wasn't that one. I did that one relatively easily. I did that in the T67. Good tip. Well, it's probably too late for you guys now. I'm sorry, but I used the T67 on pretty much all these missions. Obviously, the high damage ones I didn't, but on the kills, on the being top damage earners, being XP earners, T67 is such a ridiculously good tank if you play it well. Anyway, I can't remember which one it was now that I struggled. Oh, it's this one, this medium, medium 6. Oh my God, was that hard work? I just couldn't do it. Really couldn't do it. And it's not that difficult. Play 10 battles and cause at least 2,000 damage. You know, just take out your tier 9s and tier 10s. Easy, right? Nah. I either had retarded teams that threw the game away and I got killed really, really quickly, or they were so good that everybody else killed everything before I could get close, so I never did that one. I forget which is the other one to do. But anyway, some of these missions were really, really easy. Some of them were absolutely really tough, particularly if you only had limited time to do them. And I know you could buy the tokens to top it up, but I would rather the longer period missions where you have more opportunity to do it. It's not so critical that you do it quickly, because you're only going to have an hour and a half to play the game in the night, so you need to get the mission done as quickly as you possibly can, and therefore you play the game without giving a stuff about the team. So I don't know, that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Am I completely talking up what's it? I sometimes am, but it just feels to me making it a daily mission has impacted the standard of play considerably. It's made it really hard for the more casual players to even try and get this tank, and it just smells to me of Wargaming just trying to milk us to buy a few more tokens. Maybe we'll get half of them, and the rest of them we'll have to buy. I don't know. Today's doesn't look too bad. Win 10 battles. I'm in the top 5 on base XP. I'm laughing to myself. Yeah, win 10 battles. Some nights that's been really tough to do. Hey ho. But let me know. Let me know down below. So finally, the new Swedish tier 8 TD is obviously in the shops. Seen quite a lot of them on the battlefield. I think that's probably because people have been mesmerised by the phenomenal penetration on the gun. I think I'm right in saying, somebody I'm sure will correct me, that it has the highest penetration of any tier 8 tank in the game. Is it 288 or something like that? Something ridiculous as it standard rounds. Maybe it's 268. Anyway, whatever. It's a big ass gun on it. Hugely powerful, very, very good. And as I was saying earlier, this tank is pretty much as good as the UDES. And whereas the UDES is an absolute dog when you're using the stock gun, obviously if you spent your money and bought the Stuntwagen S1, you get the top gun immediately because that's what it comes with. So in some ways you've got a huge advantage. Now there's some differences. This thing's slightly slower to accelerate, but its rate of fire is better. Its armour is actually better. Well, laughable armour, but actually 30mm of frontal armour on this thing, as opposed to 20 on the UDES, means that it will probably bounce because of the angling. Anything under 90mm or less in terms of gun caliber. Anything over that, 91 and above, will auto pen it because the way the mechanics work, they ignore the sloping. But under that, you will bounce in this thing. Whereas the UDES with 20mm, you will automatically be penned by everything that fires at you, pretty much, unless you get very, very lucky and bounce something off a gun mat or something. So yeah, interesting. So this is on sale at the moment. It looks like we've got quite a long time, 17 days apparently, according to the ticker there. It's expensive though. The standard tank, just with the tank and nothing else, or the garage slot, £34.43, which is kind of heavy, tier 8 heavy tank level, but then it is a big damage dealer, so it will generate credits for you. or of course you've got the ridiculous packages that you can spend a fortune on if you so wish. So that's what we've got in the shop at the moment. I haven't bought it yet, and I say yet because you know me, I'll probably end up buying the damn thing. I'm kind of getting a bit fed up of spending lots of money on the game, so I'm kind of resisting it at the moment. Plus, to be honest, I haven't got the money to pay for it, and it's a lot of money, having just bought the Defender. So I'm not sure really what I'm going to do about it, whether I buy it or don't buy it. If I do, obviously I'll do you a video talking about my feelings on it, but I don't know. We'll see. Who am I kidding? I'll probably end up buying it. Anyway, hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, click like down below. Let me know what you think about tech trees. Is it kind of a past thing in World of Tanks? Is it irrelevant anymore? Is it just the World of Premiums now? World of Tank Premium game? And what do you think about the mission? The pilot mission? Is that killing the game? Is it right that it's a daily thing? Or should it be a longer period thing? Maybe with tougher things to do. Love to know what you think. As always grateful for feedback and comments, and any thoughts and speculation, love to hear. In the meantime, enjoy your games and have fun. Remember, it is just a game after all. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the channel, please. Helps the channel immensely. Makes me feel good and makes me motivated to do more of these videos for you. And of course you get notified when I post new content, which is pretty much every day at the moment. So in the meantime, enjoy your games, and I'll see you soon. This is GamerDom, out.